Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now we popping on in. Now, a lot of y'all been asking me to do a catch-up thing, the catch-up review. So I'm gonna do that because, like I say, these are really easy for me to do because I'll just watch them live with you and just react in the moment. And so it takes much less brain power than my normal videos where I'm flowing with the Holy Spirit and having to really be in that zone. So when I have a full day like this, been on calls back to back nonstop all day. This just is kind of easy work for me. So I really, you know, appreciate y'all suggestions. I know I got a lot of episodes to do and all of that. So we'll get through it and then we'll go to the next show after we get through them. But let me try to see if I could pull this here up. And then, let me see here. Then we'll get on going. And we'll get this right here.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's your host Arlette and we are here today with Jason and Candi. Welcome guys. How are we feeling?
Doing all right. Thank you, Arlette.
All right. Good to have you guys back. We had you on episode 30 of Pop the Balloon or Find Love where you guys ended up matching.
Okay, awesome.
So Candi,
Yes,
is it a yes for you for him?
it is. Yes.
We got a match!
All right, now I'll let holler them my ear.
All right, I will take this mic,
Yes.
and you guys can go on up. All right, so, the comments were, going crazy, talking about you guys. They were like, man, this was the longest segment of Pop the Balloon or Finding Love.
She was grilling me up there, wasn't she?
Candi came with the questions that were going to be, no short answers. She said, I want to hear everything. So, Candi, how did you prepare for this? How did you come up with these questions? Walk us through it.
So honestly, I was just
This brother here looking more and more like he like to surf and skateboard. And he wants so bad to be eclectic. All that chest side with the little gold, with a little silver jewelry. It's just like he trying too hard to be, I'm guessing, like a pretty boy or something. And then she over here with this stuff on the wall. I get it, y'all got to decorate y'all walls now, but just this whole little vibe here making me think about the trophy wife girl.
intentional about my time on the show. I know what it is I'm looking for, what I'm seeking in a man, and so I wanted to definitely use that time wisely, especially with that being my second time on the show. So yeah, I had my questions prepared.
I ain't know that. Now y'all ain't tell me that. The lipstick here is a little dark.
Yeah, I knew what I was looking for.
Okay. And then, it didn't help that Jason also doesn't have short responses for anything.
Arlette, don't be jumping in with the rest of the comments, okay? I read them, I know. You can get yes or no today.
Oh my goodness. No, I'm just kidding. I'm glad that you came with the good questions though, because we always tell everyone, come prepared, have your questions ready, because you do want to hear from these people that could be your possible match, whatever it is. So it's always good to, one, speak well and have your long-winded responses, and also have like really good questions prepared. Was there anything that was shocking to you guys, like from the experience or from what you've seen, what you've heard, whatever, since the show has aired? Jason, we can hear from you first.
I wouldn't say shocking. I was nervous. I had a lot of anxiety leading up to the air date because I didn't know how it was going to be received and what the perception of people watching this would be. I've never had, that many eyeballs on me at one time, even though I've spoken, at conferences and so forth in front of hundreds of people, been in front of federal judges, federal courts of appeal. Right. And out of all of that, this was maybe one of the most nerve-wracking. And now I'm consciously thinking, am I talking too much? So now they're in my head.
Yeah, you talk to, but he want to let y'all know, been in front of federal judges, federal appeals, the spoken for the presidents and astronauts and everybody dignitaries, and so just very well traveled and well spoken.
But it's part of your job. Like, you do have to do a lot of talking, and you're very well spoken, so it's not a bad thing. Honestly, it's not a bad thing. Don't overthink it.
I very much appreciate that. I have a need to feel understood, and so I think that's why I do it. And plus, we live in the TikTok age where everybody's used to things in 2-minute sound bites, and if you go beyond 2 minutes, then you're talking too much. So I understand it's a generational thing as well.
Right, we're in the TikTok era. Okay.
That's right.
Now, Candi, you were getting kind of a lot of backlash for one of the comments you made about.
Listen. Now, once again, Arlette is old masterclass. I know we talking about the content, what they talking about, but her eyebrows, her lashes, her hair, and so y'all just can ask her those questions, but tell her, don't feel the need to do the best dress show to answer those questions. And tell her she could do a mastermind group for women where y'all pay and y'all join, y'all support each other, y'all do retreats together, and y'all just share tips and tools on your aesthetics and your fashion and your hair and your lashes and your eyebrows and stuff. And this Sister Hill just sucking the mess out of that drink.
One of the gentleman's professions. Did you want to get into that? I guess elaborate a little bit more as to what you meant when you made your statement.
Sure. Yeah. Obviously, who I have depicted myself to be on the show is exactly who I am. I'm very genuine. I am not a judgmental person. Like everybody, we have preferences. And for those who saw the first time that I was on the show, I was very specific and intentional about what it is I desire for my man career-wise. And so not at any point actually, I wasn't judging Don for his profession. I've spoken to him, we're cool, we're good. I guess what I wanted to share, maybe clear up for the people, is that it wasn't his profession per se, but I am an ambitious woman myself. So I seek someone who is ambitious as well as far as their career. So there's not a problem with being a mailman, but just wondering, is there anything else you want to do to step up from that? Do you want to manage the postal office, or do you want to be some type of supervisor or a director, that kind of thing? So I was just seeking to understand and connect with ambition in regards to that. But obviously, being a postal service or mailman, there's nothing wrong with that. Blue collar positions, there's nothing wrong with that as well. So it's all just a preference.
And she really just she doesn't understand what she's saying. Like, she can't hear herself. And we as humans don't realize how telling what we think and what we feel is. And so it's like sometimes people will pick stuff up and I'll be saying something and somebody will say, oh, well, Tony is this and Tony is that, because what I'm saying, because you can hear, and we can misunderstand. But I think she's not really processing that a mailman is really like a very integral job. Like, you can't think about it. Like, if you have any immorality in you, you will be the worst mail person. Like me personally, I'm a Christian, but being a mailman would really tempt me. Like, I'll be going in all them packages. What? I'm slicing that package over. Mail fraud. Why you call it, mail fraud and all the different stuff? Like, that mail is serious. Like, and it's a long-term job. Like, you make good money. You can have that job forever. Your retirement gonna be good. Like, that's an amazing job. and talking about ambitious, really what people don't understand about ambition mean we all over the place. It mean we ain't got a pot to pee in and when to throw it out of. We rich today, we broke tomorrow. That's what ambition is. Ambition is you all over the place. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you want. You want to do it all. I'm ambitious. And I'm telling you, it ain't all it cracked up to be. It says a lot about a man who can get up and go to work and do the same job every single day for 20, 30, 40 years. That's a man that you can count on. That's a man you can trust. That's a man that's going to build a future, a retirement. Like, that's what y'all need to want. Y'all ladies got to get out of this ambition mindset. Like, get you a man that's going to get up and go to work. Like, I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm at work right now. My wife FaceTimed me 3 times to do a TikTok prank on me. And I was coaching. And I still got more work to do. Got to do this. I got to shoot another video after this for class tomorrow. Make sure you go to TonyGaskinsAcademy.com. Get in the 31 days. This is my year. 31 days of self-improvement. Because I shoot those videos daily for the next day. And organic, authentic. But that's work. It's 7:19 p.m. I still got to go to the grocery store after this and get me some of my health and wellness stuff. After talking to my nutritionist today, which I'll introduce y'all to at some point. But I say that to say, later, change y'all mindset. What you want to hear from a man, what kind of job do you have? And what's your tenure on that job? How long have you been on that job? Man, tell you he been on the job 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Hey, yes, sir. Sign them up. Sign them up. You do not want one of these. Well, you know, I'm an astronaut on the weekends, and then I'm a firefighter during the week. Then at night, I like to DJ at the club. Then in the morning, I'm a personal trainer at Orange Theory. And, you know, just working on them 7 things to be a millionaire. That's not what you want. Listen, we be broke. We be struggling. We be crying out to the Lord. We be going through it. If I could find me something where I get me a regular check coming in every 2 weeks, I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Okay. All right, good. Well, let's go ahead and dive right into the juicy topic at hand that everyone is here just dying and waiting to know. Since you guys ended up matching, have you gone on a date?
Candi, you want to take it?
We've hung out a few times.
Oh, okay. All right, walk me through the first date. When was it? Where'd you go? What'd you do?
I was trying to make the first date right after the episode ended, and I knew Candi had a flight back to Charlotte, and I was doing everything in my power to get that flight moved. So let me tell you,
Candi, why would you book your flight right after the show?
Thank you.
I had something to do. It was already planned. It wasn't on me.
Okay. So obviously it didn't happen right after the show. So when was the first date?
So I actually have some cases in North Carolina, and those are actually my next cases that are coming up for trial. And so I actually had already on my schedule to go to Asheville and Hendersonville for some depositions that I was taking the next week. So I told Candi about this, and I said, you know what, I'm going through North Carolina. Why don't we meet up in Charlotte and take you out and do a date? So we did it the week following the show. Okay. And in that interim, we were talking every day. Communication was great. In constant communication throughout the day.
He could be telling the truth, but it sounds like a lie. I'm gonna say that now, because there'll be a lot of uhs in there. You a lawyer? Why you got all them uhs in there? And then it's just like, okay, I could have swore he said he was in D.C. or Virginia or something like that. Like, what kind of lawyer? What you worry now? Unless he said he was from North Carolina, but I could have swore he said Virginia. I thought he was from Virginia. But that's just interesting, though, what he got going on with that, though. That's interesting to me. And having these. And then when Arlette was like, you know, Candi, why would you schedule something right after the show. Child got to get out of here. Like, we come on, like, we not finna do no one night stand. Like, no, we trying to get back home. Call me. We'll set something up. Like, I ain't coming on here to stay overnight in the city and kick it with somebody. Get on my back first night. No, I'm up out of here. So Candi did the right thing by being up out of there. And then he talking about, well, thank you. Man, marriage is a lifetime. You ain't got to rush nothing. You ain't got to rush nothing.
So ended up going in Charlotte. We went to a museum and then out to dinner.
Okay, nice. How was that first date for you, Candi?
Good and terrible. Nobody was going to no museum.
I feel it went well. One of the questions that Jason asked me on the show is if I was high maintenance, and hopefully the first date showed that I wasn't. Like he mentioned, we went to a museum, got some food, got a drink, super simple, but we talked for a very long time and got to know each other a little bit better. So I would say it went well.
Okay. So now after that, how was everything? How long were you in North Carolina? Did you guys hang out again while you were out there? Did you have to fly back? Like, what was the next steps after that?
I was there for a couple days. We only hung out that day. And then I was actually supposed to be back 2 weeks following that. So I think we had, tentative plans to see each other again when I was coming back.
Okay.
And then again, we were talking every single day throughout the day until the next time that we could see each other. I ended up, I think one of the cases settled, and so I didn't have to go to.
So you gonna be able to argue about case? Nope, you're not gonna be able to argue about. Tony, you judge about the loss. A lot of lawyers got a lot. Well, now you got too many arms for me. You not fixing to argue my case and be on the judge to death.
North Carolina, and because we had sort of established a nice rapport at this time, I said, well, why don't I fly you out here, put you up in a hotel, and we'll hang out for a weekend and have a good time, and that's exactly what we did.
Okay. And where are you again right now? You're in Virginia?
Virginia, yeah.
Virginia. Okay. So,
Now I'm gonna tell you now, my sister-in-law a lawyer. All right, big deal. She don't go out of state for no cases. So, buddy, I don't know what kind of level he doing it on. He in Virginia, but he got cases in North Carolina. All right, federal, like he say, federal judges, big deal with them laws. My buddy being the A for the culture. So yeah, and some of y'all was, understand a sense of humor. Like I don't really care nothing about the man locks. Like I know that doesn't define a person and all of that. That's just comedic relief. The point of it is like when you black and you judging a black person, it just comedic relief. Like it's kind of like it's more expected if a white man said. So not everybody be catching on to everything on here. So y'all don't take this stuff too serious. Like I'm not taking this serious. This is like my little chill, have fun type of stuff.
Candi, he flew you out to Virginia.
He did.
Okay. How was that? Tell me about it.
It was interesting.
Interesting good, interesting bad. What does that mean?
I feel like we got to know a little bit more about one another. But ultimately, I do feel like we had a good time.
All right. So how long were you out there?
For the weekend.
The weekend. Okay. So no, quick little weekend trip.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Jason, what'd you guys plan? How'd it go out there?
I thought we had an excellent time, and I was hoping I was trying to bring my A game for that weekend. So I'm not going to. So I planned. We went to dinners, lunches, museums, went out to some lounges, and then to a show.
Okay. So
He nervous, boy. He is nervous. I ain't never heard nobody say, I ain't heard an illiterate man say, this many times. And to be a highfalutin, federal, cross the state line lawyer? saying 90 times in 60 seconds. This tired me. This is tiring me. I'm like, my goodness, he is nervous. And she looked like she trying not to incriminate him. Candi looked like she trying not to, like he had a little character issues on that trip. And she trying not to mess up his job. And because he went to swallowing hard. He swallowed hard when Candi was making a little face. And now she's sucking on this straw, trying to keep stuff together, look like. And then he tried to change it all away. I thought we had an amazing time.
You're a planner, like you planned everything pretty much.
I'm generally not a planner. I try to play. I try to do things a little spontaneously. But I knew because I was bringing her out and stuff, and I knew she appreciated planning at least for this. I wanted her to turn off her brain and just have a good time. Mm-hmm. And I thought we had a very good time. Candi is just a pleasure to be with, and a pleasure to be around. She was a great company, and I thought we did get to know each other pretty well during that trip.
Good. Okay. So now after that trip, where are you guys now? Today, are we still getting to know each other? Are we still taking trips to see one another? How's that going?
Well, no.
Uh-oh. Why? The trip sounded like it went well.
I thought it did, but I got in my head a little bit, I think. And
okay.
The next day, I probably should have gave it a day or two to think and reflect on it more, because I don't know if I was being totally fair to Candi and in her favor. And given that I'm blocked now, I couldn't exactly communicate that to her. But I thought my expectation was, we were talking every day. There's a palpable tension that sort of builds when you're building a rapport with somebody. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was going to manifest itself in something where I could really feel some desire and affection for the things that I was doing. And I thought that I would be able to see that. I thought there would be a lot more connectedness. And what I felt during the trip was that I thought she was trying to create some distance between us. And I'm not accustomed to that, especially when, I thought I was acting pretty intentionally, and I thought I was investing in this. And so I thought that she might not be into me, the man. I thought she might be into the value. And I was concerned about that. In the back of my head was the record playing of, the mailman and the security guy, what they did. And is this about my profession, or is this about me? And I'm kind of guarded against that. And so I got on the phone with her and said, I wanted to bring parity back to the situation. And I said, why don't we start from a place of friendship and try to build off that? Because I want you to be with somebody that you don't just like the value, you like the person himself. I want you to be head over heels for whoever you're talking to. And I know Candi's got some DMs now, because I said she is this unbelievable combination of pretty, sexy and cute all at the same time. I don't know how she pulls that off, but she really does. So,
she looked like a gold digger to me. Look like a gold digger to me. Now, I could be wrong, but when you put that man down about that mailman job, now it's different if I get on about it, man to man. But when you get on a man about that hard working mailman job, I'd have been more concerned about that S curl he had in his head than that mailman job, because I applied to be a mailman and got denied. So that let me know they read your spirit for that mail too, because and rightfully so. I would have ended up in prison, because Lord no, I'm too nosy to be a mailman. I'm all leave. My neighbor mail come to my house on accident. I done had see what we got going on here. Oh, this ain't mine. Oh, let me put this thing back together. Oh, so sorry. I just opened it without even thinking. So listen. But basically what he's saying in Manglish is, with all the work that I put in, I was expecting her to come off them cheeks. I was expecting her to be spread eagle and to be all over me. Because I'm tall, I'm handsome, I'm fit. Got these locks, got these earrings, got that baby hair to the front, got these necklace on, like to wear my shirt button halfway down. I expected her to be spread eagle off all these dinners, all these lunches. I don't even got it like that. I ain't even making that kind of money. I ain't even no partner yet at my firm. So I'm breaking bread. I done had to use my mama credit card, and she ain't want to come on no cheats. She ain't want to jump up in that air and wrap her legs around me. That's what he was saying in Manglish, whether he meant to say that or not. But so then he got mad, and that's what we do wrong as men, is we do things for the wrong reasons, and we don't do it from our heart. Where if it's from our heart, all we expect is a thank you. But when it's for the wrong reasons, we expect this over of abundance of gratitude and this deep, crazy expression, of gratitude, because of what we think we did and what we think that deserves, instead of just giving to give, and giving because that's our call, our command, our place as a man to do this for our woman. And just to see her smile, see her say thank you, it should be sufficient, but it's not, because we be wanting that over and above and beyond. And also, though, for a woman, you meet the man halfway by saying, okay, let me do something thoughtful and special. Like, let me get an amazing bottle of wine if he drink, or get a handwritten card, or a basket of stuff put together, or just something that's really next level, extra mile, extra step, that really says thank you. And it don't have to be anything sexual. Where some women, they'll get that treatment and they coming off them buns. And that's what most men are used to. Most women gonna come off them buns. But now what Candi got a little bit of her is she got a little bit of that sprinkle in her. That sprinkle. She knows something about that stuff. She knows something about getting the man out them pockets and have him bent over backwards working for love. Because that's why she's still single. She ain't met the one yet that's going to do what he need to do yet. And so that's what she waiting on. And that's saying you're going to keep losing.
Okay, so, but I thought I thought it might be better, maybe I'm moving ahead too full steam, and maybe I should take a step back, manage my expectations, and start from a place of friendship, and then go forward from there.
Okay. So the trip was great, but you felt like she wasn't all into you as a person?
That essentially, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't feel like I'm very big on needing to feel desired. I didn't really feel that. I mean, I get around Candi and I'm like, man, I want to be as close to you as possible at all times as possible. She has that energy that sort of brings you in. And I got lulled into that. Now you see the face.
Ain't no energy bringing nothing in. I'm over here, whole grown man. I don't feel nothing. But here's the thing. He wanted to get his rocks off. And when that thing rocked up and you want them rocks off and you don't get that feeling, you don't get what you want out of there, that frustrates you. So he ain't telling the real truth about what it really is.
I got lulled into that, and so I was hoping that would be reciprocated to some degree. I've certainly in my past I've had things move pretty quickly. If anybody's done online dating knows, you're talking for like a week, and then by the time you meet, it's like, wow, you feel sparks.
Like,
and I
you feel like you already know each other.
Exactly. Okay. And I wanted to feel sparks, and I know I felt the sparks, but I didn't know that if she was feeling the sparks. So I said, okay, let me cool down here a bit. Why don't we start from a place of friendship and go from there?
Okay, Candi, let's hear from you.
Well, first, I think the planning was amazing. The things that he planned for us to do were definitely spot on with the things that I enjoy and my interests. So I definitely appreciate that. But like you said, I do feel, things were probably moving at our paces were different. For me, I've been in a long-term relationship. I've been hurt before. I am very conscious and aware of things that are important. And for me, if I want to be serious with somebody, I don't move at a pace that's fast. I do believe friendship should come first. Friendship is the foundation. So for me, it was let's build a friendship, let's get to know one another, and then let's see where we can go from there. So I do feel like we probably were different as far as Jason kind of jumping in. I don't feel like I jumped in with him when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to that, but that didn't mean that I maybe wouldn't have gotten there eventually. So I do feel like, us establishing let's be friends first was the right direction to go in.
Okay. But is he, like he stated, he feel like you were more so interested in what he can bring than him himself? Is there truth to that?
Not at all. Not at all. First, I didn't ask to come and be flown out. That was something that was offered to me. I did offer to drive, but ultimately, that was something that was offered to me. So it was never, and it's never been in any of my situations about what somebody can give to me. Again, the question was asked, am I high maintenance, materialistic, however you want to phrase it? And I said no, and I meant that. So in getting to know somebody, there are certain expectations that I don't have. But I do appreciate the things that Jason did as far as dinner and us going out and things like that. It's most appreciated. But it's not something that I necessarily expected. So I'm here to get to know somebody for who they are, not for what I feel like I can get out of the situation as far as materialistic, financially, money, that type of thing. That's not who I am. So
Okay. So,
Now she wants some of that money, but it's like every woman want both stability, financial stability, and emotional stability. And most men can provide only one. And that's where we fall short in our relationships. And the same thing with a man. A man wants a sexy woman, but then he also wants a woman that is, CEO of home. And most women can only do one. It's just very rarely is a person everything. And so I feel that she wants financial stability, but I also still feel that she's a genuine person and she wants real love and she wants a real man. And I really believe she can really like him, that she really could like him for who he is. It's just he doesn't realize it, as from what they've said so far, because of his own insecurities. And so he's moving too fast. And what y'all have to realize from a male perspective is with all what he's doing, if you look at him, he looked like a black guy on one of them love shows. One of them love, I don't know if they call it Love Island, or he looked like that. He's like a character. He is created like this anime kung fu Negro ninja who is a lawyer. So it's kind of like this Clark Kent Superman thing, to where, and that's what a lot of guys do when you have an identity crisis, or like you're a black man but you was raised like a white man. You was in suburbs, you was in private school, your parents are educated, so you educated, so you start to like question yourself because you don't get along with the typical everyday black man. And because most black men come from poverty, unfortunately. And so you start to create like this persona, this image, this character, and you get too in your head and your insecurities start to take over. So now when you're dealing with a woman, you're thinking too much. And remember when we watched that show, I told you, I think it was him who dropped his head when she said something about the postman, and he dropped his head and was like, and like he ain't like that. But he overruled that, he ignored that, and then that's why it's still how you feel is how you feel. And that's why it still surfaced when he brought her up there. And he played himself. He played right into it, because it's like, if you feel she in it for money, then don't give her no Prince Harry, Meghan Markle trip. Bring her behind to Virginia and y'all go to the park and y'all go walking, y'all get y'all a basket, you have your picnic, and then the next morning y'all go to Starbucks. After that, you walk around town, you go walk around the shops downtown, midtown, round town, cross town, and you window shop. You ain't got to buy nothing, you let her pop in and spend her own money. If that's how you feel, if you feel like she could potentially be a gold digger, then don't lay out all the gold. Because then you lay out all the gold and then you expecting her to like jump around your neck, hugging and kissing you with that monkey on your stomach. And it's like, she not finna do all that. Like, she really like taken aback. Like, she enthralled. She thrown off. Like, whoa, like, this is a lot. Like, what's going on? Like, that more so to a woman who done been hurt, that feel like you love bombing her. And you want to just put some hard meat leg on her. And then wash your hands with her. And then hop back out to the next episode of Pop the Balloon. Act like you still looking for a woman. And then now your whole stick is just meeting down these women after you done wine and dined them. So that she got in her head. That triggered some of her trauma.
I know you said, when you're getting to know someone, building a friendship is like the main thing first. So before you went out there on this trip, was that something that was discussed between the two of you? Like, hey, this is just simply us being friends. We're not going to try to even do this with a romantic route. Like, was that a discussion or was that something you thought he just knew?
That's a great question. As much as we spoke,
That question ain't that great. That's what you need time to think. But notice, she don't say as near much as the lawyer do.
I don't know that we established that verbatim.
Okay.
For me, it was understood. That's how I felt. And that's not to say that we couldn't have risen to other levels, but initially, that's how I would be with anybody. So maybe, we maybe should have had a conversation more so about that at the beginning, and maybe Jason wouldn't feel the way that he felt, but yeah, we are where we are.
Okay. So when you guys were having like these conversations, talking to each other, prior to you coming out there, even when you guys went on your first date, all that stuff, was it like on a friendly vibe or were you guys flirting? Like, how was it?
They could pick it back up. It's just, they look too good together. They look too magazine-y. You got to be a little more opposites attract a lot of times, especially on this new age stuff y'all be dating.
To where now you guys are both like, oh, we're on two different paths. We didn't know, like we weren't seeing eye to eye on where this was going.
Oh, I'm flirting.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you're flirting, but she giving it back, or it was always just you?
Candy's so sweet that maybe sometimes it's hard to distinguish between what she's giving off as friendship vibes and what is coming off as flirty vibes. But
Okay.
and I think our own brains want to interpret it the way we want to perceive it, and the way we hope that it's being perceived. So, I think actually I'm being a little facetious. I think it was a healthy combination of both. It's exactly the type of communication I think you want when you're really getting to know somebody. It's this combination of we're getting to know each other, we're learning about each other, there's flirtation there. And so that was my perception of our communication.
And that's the thing right there, insecurity. And I struggle with that as well. That's how I can recognize it. Like, Candi don't really give off flirting. She just give off posh, presentable. Nothing about her feel flirtatious. Like I was picking up some wings the other day from a restaurant, and it was a bartender, a white lady. Here I am, black man coming in there. There's all white people in there. Felt like a whites only bar. And she come up to me. Hi, baby, how are you? It's like, for one, ma'am, don't call me baby. You don't even know me. That's flirting. Here you go, baby. How are you, baby? Okay, here's the bill, baby. All right, baby. Like, she called me baby more than my mama called. Not my mama. My wife called me baby. That's flirting. What Candi doing? That ain't really flirting. Even though she got a little financial stability desire, it just, how you say, you can't tell if she flirting, whatever. That's still coming from his insecurity. And as a man, you should never assume a woman flirting with you. As a woman, you should never assume a man flirting with you. Always take everything as a person is being nice, they being polite. That way you don't have to get caught up with the assumptions. Y'all remember what they say assume mean.
Okay. So what led to you being blocked? You mentioned
I
you're
did not
blocked
block
now.
you.
Girl, I can show you. I can show you my text message right now because I texted you the next day. Are you mad at me? Because I saw that you unfollowed me. I saw that I was blocked on WhatsApp, text messages, and I was removed from the group chat. Now, I actually respected that level of pettiness because I was like, that is funny. That is funny. I saw Candi has removed you from the group chat. I was like, all right, I respect that level of pettiness.
Candi, what happened? How did we get to this?
So from the conversation that we had, we were discussing a group trip. And from what Jason shared with me, I felt as if he would not be interested in being in the group trip. So there's no need to be a part of the group chat, which is what we talk about. So that is why he was removed. But I don't have an issue with you. You're not blocked. You can text me right now. You're not blocked.
All right.
He might have hit her up and she was on airplane mode or something on the plane or, at nighttime, bedtime, but they could pick it up. He got to get out his head, get over them insecurities. I get it. Most men, we've been there. But if she did do all that blocking though, it's almost like he did a little something he wasn't supposed to do, touched her somewhere inappropriate, and she not trying to throw him under the bus or said something inappropriate. Now, one of the things is there's no such thing as a perfect man. So whenever you see a man who look like he got it all together, his darkness is dark. And that's one thing you got to realize with every human being, at least with men. I don't know about women. I'm not a woman. But darkness is dark and light is light. So you got to understand that. So being that when you got the job, you got the height, you got the look, you got the smile, you got the articulation, something about you is off. And that's what we fail to remember sometimes, is that everybody is flawed and everybody got to work on something somewhere.
So you said you texted her, "Are you mad at me?"
Maybe I'm telling tales out of school. I won't go too far into how I ascertained whether or not I was blocked or not. It did appear from my perception that I was blocked across multiple platforms, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe something happened. You know how these phones be sometimes, or how the
I don't know. My phone always works.
So
y'all got to tell me because my phone always works. So did you not get a reply when you sent a text? Is that what happened?
I got the little exclamation mark, like it won't go through. And then you guys reached out about doing this, and I wanted to kind of clear the air with her. So I tried to send a message on Instagram, and that didn't go through. So I was like, okay, but maybe multiple platforms went down at the same time immediately following that conversation.
Candi, let me find out you just unblocked him because of this. Is that what happened?
Oh God.
Is that what happened, Candi?
Trouble when this call ends.
Because we're trying to know. He said he was blocked. He sent you a few messages that didn't go through. Did you just recently unblock him?
No, you're not blocked. I don't know if it's your service. I don't know. But you're not blocked. I don't have a
So what was the last conversation you guys had then?
The conversation I described the day after she left, where I had indicated that maybe we should start from a place of friendship. And we left it at that. And I feel like during that conversation, I did not give her a fair hearing. And I thought that was why perhaps there was the reaction there was the day before, because she actually caught me off guard during that conversation. Candi cut me off if you don't want me to talk about any of this, but she she had indicated, so are you making the decision for us? And that gave me pause because I had to think about it, and I was just really, you know, I can be quite decisive, and I don't want to make the decision for two people, but I don't know any other way other than to express how I feel, and then if how I feel is going to lead to uh, an incongruity between how we think we should go forward, then I suppose it's me making the decision. But I was kind of at a loss, and actually reflected on that in the days following that, and I was like, maybe I'm not. Maybe we're just different. Maybe I didn't take the time to get to know her enough in this particular way to truly understand where she was coming from. And I said during the show, I look inward first, and I really do. And so I started thinking, damn, what did I jump the gun here a little bit? So I do apologize to Candi to the extent that I did for that. And to the extent that she did block me, not saying you did, I would say that would be a reasonable reaction, especially if you know your perception of how things went was different from mine from that conversation. So I appreciate the fact that I'm unblocked or never was, you know, depending on how we look at it. And yes, internet, I know I'm talking too much.
You're right.
Yeah, I had to pop my neck. I was like, my goodness, boy. I'm watching one of my old videos. Like, my goodness, man, take a breath. I'm like, yeah, you ain't get a girl no proper hearing because you can't hear nothing but yourself. Like, and not the lawyer, not giving nobody no proper hearing. Oh, I'm about to lose my hearing. Like, my goodness, boy, breathe. Do you want to, like, that's why he keeps saying so much, because he don't take a pause. Like, speaking one-on-one, I ain't never been taught this, but if y'all notice as I'm talking, you rarely will hear me say because I pause. So take a breath and pause, and then formulate your next sentence in your mind so you can leave out filler words like like, you know, right. And I try to help people understand that. And this coming from a country boy, but it's because I was an introvert and never really talked. So when I started to talk and express myself, I had to figure out ways that I could express myself. And so if you understand, one of the things I realized is I'm not an actor. So that's why I do these live, because if any of this is going to be comic relief, if any of this is going to be a real reaction, I got to do it live. Whereas most people, they would think, let me watch the whole thing by myself, formulate all my thoughts, and then watch it again on camera and try to drop what I said, but it's not natural. Now you're rehearsing it and it's not live. And if you're not Denzel Washington, it's going to be able to be seen. So that's how I could tell, like, these podcasters that's going around talking about they're going to get married this year, but they ain't even got no girlfriend yet. It's full of crap. Or they finna just have a filler woman that they going to divorce in 3 to 5 years and then act like it ain't work out. But I could tell by their answers and what they say on some of these clips I'm seeing is that they lying because they done rehearsed it all in their mind. And so this right here is an authentic conversation they done had. Another thing is, it's a lot of times you could text somebody and, like, if they are on airplane mode or they in a bad area, you'll get that little red exclamation mark. And then when you go to DM somebody, not all DMs go through, because somebody could change their setting to where only allow people I follow to DM me. So I'll try to send a DM sometimes to an athlete I'm recruiting for TGE, and it'll say this person doesn't allow DMs from everybody. Or it'll say this person only allows DMs from people they follow. So not all of it'll go through, but with that sequence of events, them two things, then boom, send him in his head, oh, I'm blocked. When it literally could have just been happenstance and just the way it happened. And so that's another thing, another lesson of us getting out of our head, because we'll talk ourselves into some stuff.
Okay. So, I mean, okay, you guys decided, well, or Jason, you said, you know, we're going to be friends, and that was it? Never again spoke again after that?
Correct.
But why? If you're going to be friends, shouldn't the conversation continue?
Well, that's what I thought, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Okay, let's hear from Candy. Candy, let's hear from you.
Um, so initially I felt that we had a good time throughout the weekend and I could understand that we were moving at different paces.
Hmm.
I do feel, and it's something that I brought up to Jason, I'm very transparent. I felt as if the fact that he brought me out, had a good time, the fact that I did not engage in certain activities, that he decided, okay, let's just be friends. So,
Okay.
that that was something for me. I am not that type of girl. And he shared with me that he felt as if I was, one of his concerns was that I was too wholesome. Um,
What I told you. Too wholesome. She do look like she went to etiquette school from the age of 3. Posh etiquette, Queen's Academy, LLC. But the thing is he expected that cooler bow. He thought doing all of that. So your typical woman, a nice dinner, your typical woman, you don't have to do much of anything. You breathe on her the right way. See, anything. But Candy, no, but you finna work. You finna work. She need that financial stability. Oh, you finna put that work in now to get her, because she knows that she's not an average woman. She knows she take care of that skin. She take care. Look at this set of teeth. Look at this set of teeth. All straight. Look like Penny Proud from the Proud family. All straight. They white. Look at this skin. You don't see no blemish. You don't see now acne. She take care of that liver. She take care of that kidney. The lashes, they the right volume. They bought me double volume, but could be natural, just volumized. The hair, it doesn't look fake. It look like it could be a weave, but it don't look like atrociously weavelicious. So that puts her in the top 10% of women. Black women, white women, all women. So she know she don't have to come off that thing because these men gonna work. But him being a lawyer, and I think he had a little height on him, he ain't got no blemishes. You know, he take care of himself. Look like he might get an eyebrow arch. He take care of himself. He is your average everyday woman. She could be pretty as Candy or Arlette and on that bike. Boom. Boom. That's honestly, a lot of people don't realize, like, what was it about your wife? She wasn't loose. Every other woman I met, I didn't have to work more than the first night to get in her drawers. Every other woman. Because back then, that was the only test we knew. Try to sleep with her. If she sleep with you inside of 2 weeks, she's not a wife. That was the only test we knew. So we suffered as a result of that because we giving our body away too. But that's all we knew. So that's how I slept with over 100 women by the age of 21, because I never got told no. I didn't get told no till I met my wife. It was 2 young ladies that told me no. One of them was an Oreo from being over the weight limit that I could lift. So I wasn't arguing with her because I'm like, I can't lift you anyway, so bump it. And she kind of had a crazy CTE boyfriend that she was in and out with, so I ain't really. And then the other one was 10 years older than me and didn't shave her legs. So I wasn't mad about that either. But other than that, I had never heard no. Except for when I was real young, about 16, and I tried to you know, get at this one young lady, and she, I don't do that. She had a thick tongue on her. I don't do that. I'm like, what? Girl, you better be glad I'm even standing here talking to you. You know who I'm here? I'm the star basketball player, star football player, star this and that. Girl, what you talking about? But I thank the Lord for not letting me have that experience, because I ain't even know if she showered good. So that could have changed my life for the worse. And so other than that, I'm here to tell you, like, women today and for always have been easy. So when you not an easy woman and you got your stuff together, it throws these men off. They like, what in the world? It frustrates them. It make them insecure. It make them, their head explode. They internalize it, and they think it all about them because they self-centered, instead of just sitting back and saying, maybe she knows her worth. Maybe she's a classy woman. Maybe she has value. Maybe this is the type of woman I need to pursue. Because if I done did all of this, and I got all this name, I got all these looks, got all this height, got all this money, got all this, and she won't bust it wide open for me, how in the world will a man ever have the time, energy, and space to get in my woman's drawers if we married? But see, what you don't realize is when y'all want these easy, loose booty women that you could just take on a date and then bust her wide open, that's the same woman that's gonna be busting it wide open on you when you make her mad in marriage, because she easy with it. She'll hop in the back seat and open her leg. She'll get plucked off a pole in the bathroom at work. Like, she'll get that thing up in a quick one night stand, quick man ain't got to put no work in, he ain't got to do nothing. And that's the kind of women that y'all boys be choosing instead of choosing a woman. Yeah, Candi, she want what she want. She want a little money. What woman don't? It ain't that she all the way super duper gold diggerish, but she give off a little bit of them vibes. But if she ain't come off them cookies, that let you know she want to take it a little slow. You got to appreciate that, respect that, and be willing and ready to do the work. See, he really not looking for no wife, because he wanted too easy, and that's why he ain't feel enough appreciation or enough affection or whatever he's saying. It's like, bro, she don't know you. Why she gonna be affectionate? Because you took on some dates.
To each his own. That's how you feel. But I am a woman of standard. And I make decisions that are best for me. And so in the conversation that we had, I expressed that. And ultimately, that's why I initially felt that's why he said what he said and made the decision that he made for us. The conversation wasn't necessarily about how I feel. It was, I've thought about this, and this is what it is. So yeah, that's kind of how it went. And feeling the way that I felt, I didn't know if this was a friendship that I could engage in or continue, from my perspective of things. So yeah, we haven't really had a conversation.
So the lawyer was judge and jury and made a decision for both of them. And it really was because he felt rejected. He felt failure. He did all of that, and what he thought would come from it didn't come from it. So she proved him wrong, and she didn't do what he thought every woman would do. And instead of him appreciating and respecting that, it actually upset him and made him mad and made him throw in the towel, which is then also kind of backhanded, because it could make the woman be like, no, you're reading the wrong way. No, I'll fly back tomorrow. No, let's get this right. This is wrong. And Kat was like, all right, hasta luego.
Since then, but I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue. I just feel like we were on different pages, and that's why in the episode, I believe I was speaking to Demetrius, but communication is so important because you never know what the other person is thinking, how they're perceiving things. So it is important to express how you feel, and be very clear on what your intentions are. So.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if when y'all wanted me to watch this, if y'all wanted me, I felt like some of the women was like, Candi really showed her hand and showed her colors and all of that right there, but I'm not picking that up. Could because I'm a male, so I'm gonna read men differently, but what she said so far is like, it's making sense, and I'm not picking up a thing of like, she definitely not desperate, and so that kind of proves that she's not like a gold digger. Like when I said that earlier, I don't mean it literal. It just saying like she look like she don't want no broke man, but it don't mean like she money hungry, because if that was the case, she would have just threw everything out the window, acquiesced, gave him what he wanted just to be there. And so hopefully he realized like, okay, you dealing with a real one right now. Like she willing to walk away. Like she willing to leave you in your lawyer job. That don't mean nothing to her if you want her to bend over backwards because you did some dates that you asked to do. You flew her out. You set all this up. You did all that. You can't expect the level you want on that when you set all this up and you chose to do all of this. And so what she's saying, it making perfect sense to me.
Okay. So in the moment when these activities were brought up or discussed, whatever it was, I'm not sure, you expressed to him like, oh, I move at a slower pace. This is something I'm not going to do. And then what happened? Like, I don't know. We're just confused how you guys had a great trip and then now you're not talking.
I just want to clear the air. So the activity was nothing too nefarious. All right. There was, on the last night, I asked if I could have a goodnight kiss, and I was rebuffed. So that wasn't, we're not talking about, something more indiscreet than that.
That right there. Let me tell you what that did. They grabbed it. They grabbed the ball. And the ball felt like this. Hear all that? That's what happened to them balls. He asked for a good night. It's like, bro, don't nobody owe you no kiss. Like, this is somebody's mouth. Herpes, mono, flu. What's the other one called? The flu. What's the other one like the flu? Pneumonia. Like, this somebody's mouth, bruh. You done been eating garlic noodles. It's like, don't come asking for no kiss. Like, that's somebody's body. And this what, and some women who done got blocked on here, hoochie mamas telling me, oh, Tony, you making a big deal about a kiss. Like, listen, you could contract herpes from a kiss. You got to make sure you want that from this person. You can get sick from kissing somebody. Like, the mouth is nasty. And then look at the brother. He looked like he like to munch on a little cooter bow. She don't know if you got an ex-girlfriend, if you got a little fling. She don't know if you mess with the $2 HOs in Virginia. Like, she don't know how you get down. She don't know where your mouth been at. So he got rebuffed. And then none of the stuff was nefarious. But it read that dictionary now. And he went ahead and told it. Because she trying to spare him and not say, well, he was very pushy, very forward, and it was like he expected something sexual or something intimate just because we spent some time together and went on these dates. And I wouldn't expect a man of the law, a lawyer, to be so presumptive and then turn around and be judge and jury and just want to listen to his self-talk to the point that he can't hear someone else's perspective. So she could say all that right there, what I'm saying, but she's sparing him. And this is what black women do a lot for black men, is they spare us. They try to spare our ego. They try to spare our reputation. They try to spare our job. And that's why God called me to step outside of myself and look at the other side, and then also help women look at themselves and stop beating yourself up and stop attacking other women all the time and try to seek and understand. Now, when a woman is wrong, I'm going to tell you she's wrong. I'm going to call it out now, but I'm going to call it down the middle based on what my spirit is picking up from the situation. Now, she could just be more composed than him and not showing her hand like he's showing his hand, and that could be deceiving me. But we'll see.
That
okay.
But I yeah, that we had I had indicated that I think she might be too wholesome, and we had a discussion about our sort of spiritual backgrounds and so forth, and I understood where she was coming from, but that wasn't something that was an issue for me, and she assured me that she is somebody that is adventurous in terms of, when I say wholesome, I'm talking about, can you have adventure? Are you somebody that we can have fun with? We can do things that involve risk, stuff like that, because I'm a very adventurous person. And
Okay.
She sort of assured me that, she's right there with me. So I was
He is not talking about skydiving. He talking about diving off in that cooter bow.
hoping that a friendship can ensue from that, and communication would have definitely been helpful to make sure that we were on the same page with what we were both thinking about, because I don't want anything projected onto me or my intentions being misunderstood in any way.
Okay. All right. Well, any final thoughts between the two of you? I know you guys haven't spoken in a while, but any final thoughts?
That's it.
Okay. I'm still confused here, and I know people are gonna be like, "What are these two even talking about?" Because I don't know what you guys are even talking about. Um, but any projects you guys are working on, anything to be on the lookout, you want to discuss, whatever it is.
I mean, no, I have a children's YouTube channel, Candy's Clubhouse. Check it out.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I read.
It's about no, and then proceed to tell about her business. You said no, child. We don't hear about that channel. Then you said no. If you want to promote your business, now. Get on over there to TonyGaskins.academy.com, Candy, and get in. This is my year, 31 days of self-improvement.
I do read alouds for children, so obviously virtual, electronically. So yeah, I love the babies. So check it out.
Of course, we will. Jason, what about you?
I'm just doing my law thing. So if you got an issue, you can, of course, hit me up, and happy to take a look at it if you're within my practice area. Also, people were hitting me up after the show. People visited my Instagram, and they noticed that I try to do these photorealistic drawings, pencil drawings. And I'm always looking for new inspiration for that. And some people express some interest in that. So if you do have an interest in having me draw something or something like that, I need an original photograph. All right. An original photograph that nobody else has. All right. You can DM that, and I can draw inspiration from that. And then we can discuss about composition and things like that if that's something you're interested in. But otherwise, that's just kind of a hobby. But I appreciate you asking, Arlette.
Okay. So now, after this catch up, are you guys gonna talk, or it's just that's the end of it? That's the end of Jason and Candy.
I don't know if we have closure, so I'll probably reach out, and if Candy's interested in hearing from me, then it won't be the end of the story. And if she's not, I perfectly understand. And I wish her the best in all her future endeavors. She's a beautiful woman. Amazing in many respects, and who she was on camera is exactly who she was in person. So I very much appreciate the time that we spent together, if that is the end of the road, and if not, I look forward to what the future holds.
Candy, you answering his call?
I'll answer his call.
Oh my goodness. I can't. All
You see
right,
why
guys.
I'm confused all the time with this, though, right?
I'm confused with you, Jason. I don't know what's going on.
But that's all right. Maybe that's my cross to bear.
You're not alone. I'm confused with you. I'm sitting here wondering what's going on. But honestly, I wish you two the best of luck in everything you do. And I do thank you for coming on today as well. And everyone at home, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you all next time.
Thanks for having us.
Arlette, she be wanting the stuff to work, She want her show to work. She want the stuff to work. And I get it. It's not that confusing though. But what I can tell is Candi holding back some of what she could have said, and then he expressing, and he kind of over expressing, but in so many words, he said it. He said, I got two in my head. He said, I got two in my head. So he said it like that removes the confusion. He said, I overthought this thing. He also said, I didn't hear her out. So but Arlette not a life coach. She's not a relationship coach. You know, she is a host of the show. So she probably can't hear everything that he's saying, what he did, that's painting the picture. And then too, I think she looking at it too, like, man, look at this handsome, successful man. Like, what's going on, Candi? Like, you see how I married my husband. He successful or whatever. That I found out that Arlette's husband is a big time African music artist. It's like, how would I know that? Just on looks compatibility, he came up. Point, it don't matter what, and it was like African women, oh, he a big artist. Okay, that don't be he on her level looks wise. It just be he a big artist. And so he was able to get a woman that is a few notches higher than him on the look scale, like the rest of us. That's all I was saying. Like, I don't care what he do. Be a booty scratcher. As far as I care. All I'm saying is based on looks compatibility, she could have had an array of different looking men. And that's just point blank period. And that's what happens with us as men. When we become successful, we able to get a woman that look better than us. And that's just how it works. And it just is what it is. So it was some African women saying, you need to put some respect on his name. It's like, I ain't disrespecting him. I'm just telling the truth. The truth is the truth. It's like, I'm not finna kiss nobody behind just because of what they do. You got to remember who I am. It's like, I'm just looking at a person as a person. Like, I'm not finna be that, somebody do Afro beats, so yeah, he could have any woman in the world. No, it ain't like that. And I think she kind of confused, like how is this man being turned down? Like, what did he do wrong? And it just ain't, it's just not that serious. It just ain't that serious or how he could be turned down or what have you. And so that's the thing is the issue. He wanted to move a little too fast. That's it. He wanted to move too fast, and in moving that fast, he shot himself in the foot instead of just taking his time and saying, hey, let us get to know each other. Let me take my time. He wanted to move too fast. And that's what happened. So you got to realize and understand that. Get you a little lesson from it. And as you get you a little lesson from it, then you're able to take, when you get into a situation, you're able to realize, like what Candi said, communication is everything. Like, you got to be able to take that time and hear both sides. And so I like his introspection. And I honestly believe that they can pick it up and they could pick up where they left off. But the problem with dating on your exact looks level is it becomes a peeing contest, and it becomes like a power struggle, and it can stall out a relationship because if you're not mindful about sidestepping the power struggle, you battling with your equal. Whereas when one person look better than the other and it's kind of understood, it creates a dynamic of appreciation both ways around. Like, the person who is kind of looked at lesser than in society, they kind of look up to the other person like, man, you giving me a chance when everybody else done stunted on me. So what does that say about your heart? And then the person who has been treated like Mr. It or Mrs. It, they with the other person, and then they able to say, like, I see your heart. Like, people have looked down on you and overlooked you and whatever, but I see your heart. And ironically, I just coached a young lady like that, to where she a couple notches higher on the look scale than her guy. And she admitted to me that she wasn't attracted to him at first, but as they got to know each other, she was able to get beyond societal constructs and the programming of society and able to see him for his heart, see him for who he is. So although he dressed different or wears hair different or had a different look style about him, she still could see him now as a handsome man for who he is. And I think we get so programmed sometimes that we don't understand that. So we just go on for this certain look, but not realizing everybody dealing with their own insecurities. Everybody dealing with, they want this, they want that. Everybody thinking about that look scale. Everybody thinking about looks compatibility without even understanding what looks compatibility is. And you got to get out your feelings. You got to be able to hear the truth and really understand and feel and hear the truth without taking offense. Like, oh, you saying I need to be with somebody ugly. Oh, you saying I'm ugly, so I need to get with somebody uglier. No, it's just you got to understand opposites attract and compatibility. And so it comes to that place to where you can't really build with your competition. You got to build with your addition. You got to build with somebody who can build around you, build with you. And then you'll understand that. But hey, this is Tony Gaskins. God bless you. We will talk soon, get this thing together, and I'll be in touch with you. Thank y'all so much for the support. God bless you. Shout out to my latest donors, to the Tony Gaskins Family Foundation. We still building and gearing up for that. And also, welcome to the singles who are preparing for marriage. Somebody asked the other day, well, what's the point of preparing for marriage if it ain't gonna be no ready men or ready who else? For one, it's not just for women. This is for men and women. And then two, if you become ready, you gonna attract somebody ready. As long as you complacent and where you at, you gonna keep attracting what you are. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Meaning who you end up in a relationship with, who you settle down with, that's a reflection of you. So when you elevate that, you're gonna change. So that's why Candi and this boy didn't work out, because she working on herself. She elevating her mind, her mental, and how she see things. She could have had one night stands before. She could have moved that fast before. She could have gave a in the night kiss before on a trip with a dude. She could have did all that before, and it backfired on her. Lip went to itching. So she's like, no, I ain't doing that no more. And so that's what you got to realize. So now that's why they not a fit, because he's not on her level of maturity. He's not on her level of wholesomeness, as he calling it. It's like, boy, you a lawyer. Your butt need to be wholesome. You can't be out here doing nothing too spontaneous out here. You better sit down and hush, take your butt to dinner, and then go home, put your head on that pillow. Talking about you like the adventurous, but you can't. You should have chose a different profession. Your profession ain't for adventurosity. Better calm down. Be locked up. Be locking yourself up. And so that's what you got to realize and understand. But really what he meant in Manglish is you don't seem easy. You don't seem like you'll have a one night stand. You don't seem like you'll let me stick this thing in you in the backseat of a car with no condom on. You seem a little more measured, a little more reserved, and like I really got to go through all the hoops, jump through all the hoops, and do every little thing to get off in them drawers. And then when you get off in there, thing gonna be worth it. But you might have to go all the way to marriage with her. She probably done seen too much, done too much, been through too much, and she like, I'm not making those same stupid mistakes no more, playboy. So if you want to get off in there here, we're gonna have to walk down that aisle first. And so, and that's not what he's trying to do. He trying to knock him down a good another 20, 30 women before he get married. I could read his spirit and tell. He just came up too lame. He came up too squarish. So now he trying to benefit from being a successful, tall, handsome black lawyer. He trying to get the fruits of that labor and don't really want to get no wife and settle down. That's why he went on this show of the World Wide Web. Because now imagine this man DMs with all these thirsty booty women out here, booty scratching women. Now imagine all these women plucking off that pole. They act like they ain't never script before. his DMs flooded. He get all kind of options and dates, and he finna get all kind of loose booty out here, and then gonna try to come back to Candi when he done got wore out that thing ready to fall off from that syphilis. Yeah, I made a mistake. So hopefully he see this right here and he wake up and realize, like, man, this right here you catch now. Get out your head, mature, grow your behind up, and go and get with the hill woman, and go and take that time and go and build with her so y'all can have something. But hey, this Tony Gaskins. God bless you. We'll talk soon.